You know, but society has really took those stories and have turned them into something that is to use to control people. Even the language that we use, and it comes from it all stems from this programming that we've been programmed that men are this way and women are this way, and that's the way it's always been, and that's the way it's always going to be, and I think that takes a lot of it takes a lot off the table, and I think that there's time to put some of that stuff back on the table. I mean, just like even when you're talking to a woman the other day, I speak to a woman, I say, "Excuse me, miss," and she says, "Well, don't call me miss because da 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 da. That's short than who I am as a person," and da 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 da. And I said, "Well, look, I don't have another name to call you because that's all I can go to." And I think that is something that's respectful. And I tried to explain to her that it is something from a respect standpoint, and it's not something that I was trying to disrespect her or belittle her or come on to her, but I was just really just going to ask her what time it was. I was like, "Hey, excuse me, Miss Man, something for you." She was like, don't call me Miss. And you know what? But then I started thinking about it. I said, actually, the word miss, when you see a woman and you say, "Hey, excuse me, miss," or "Hello, miss," or "May I help you, miss?" or "Can I help you with your bags, miss?" When you're saying these things, it actually is bad. It's fucked up. It's real fucked up. Because that is the word that we use to talk to a woman that we do not know. We say, "Hello, miss. Excuse me, miss. May I speak to you for a moment, miss? Miss, do you need any help with your items? Miss, 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 miss." But when we think of a lot of words that we use on a regular basis that start with the word miss, none of them are positive. I mean, they're all fucked up. I mean, you got misguided, miseducated, misunderstanding, misbehavior, misdemeanor, misconstrued, misdirection, misguided. I mean, it just goes on, miss. And then when we see a woman walking down the street, the first thing we say to her is, "Hello, miss. This is your name. This is what we call you." Everything that is attached to that prefix, it's not good. I mean, it's horrible. And I never even took a chance or even a second to even just look at it of how we are addressing 50% of the population. We address them with this negative prefix. And I just don't think it's right. But then I started thinking, wait, she becomes a Mrs. once she becomes attached to another person. A life partner, a husband, whatever. She becomes Mrs. The Mrs. And what do we do as men? We try to hit on women. I mean, when they're not attached, and we miss. We miss when they're married, typically, or they're supposed to. They're not supposed to give you their number once they're set a vow under God. They're become a missus. So every time we hit on them, now we're missing them. We're missing them. They're misses. Excuse me, miss, but we don't address them as misses. We still address them as miss until we find out with her correcting us, saying, "No, I'm married. I'm attached to something else. You're missing." And I think that inside that language is something that we really need to unpack as just a society of how we address each other. Because there's a lot of power in words. There's a lot of power in words, but it goes back. And I think it's important that we focus on those things.